started the work yesterday on HR, working on HR data set, and we recorded the class. That's also on the channel already. So today we're going to continue with what we have on HR. But because I gave us assignments on the active and inactive data sets, sorry, the active and inactive requirements for the project that we're working on, I may not go through that again, except if there's need to. Today, I'll just take the leverage to talk about other things in Power BI that is going to help us enhance our reports, right? And then make it make more sense. Hopefully, at the end of this class, you should be able to do a report by the grace of God. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen now so we take it up. If anybody has any question from the previous class, or you tried something and you don't understand, now is a good time to ask before we come and lay more things.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
The last thing you did yesterday night,
Yes.
I would have loved if you can just kindly go through it again. That is the way you filtered the active and the inactive, that you said where we should drag employee status to the filter or something like that, and then click active and or inactive. I'm
Okay.
so sorry. I wouldn't mind if you can just go through it quickly again.
Okay. Um, let's see what we can do about that. So because of this question now, I'm just going to deal with that of the active employees, the requirement for active employees, not thoroughly, so that then we can move on to what we have to do for today. Let's see. Miss Lawal, you're welcome. It's good to have you in class. Okay, let's see what we have here. So from the requirement that we have that of active. We said we've done HR data overview. Now we need to deal with active employees. So in these active employees, we're going to be taking on total number of active employees, ratio of their performance score, the number of employees by department for only active employees, and then we're going to take on hiring trend by year. Okay, let me see what we have here. Rhoda, welcome to class.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so back to our requirement for active employees, we said total number of active employees, ratio of performance score. So let's get back to active employees. Now, remember that we said if you want to do display just a number, we'll use our card visual, right? Just like the way we did for this HR data overview. So let me just put that back. So here I have my card visual. Now I'm looking for the total number of active employees. If I go back and insert count of employees, if you remember yesterday, is with the count of employees that we get the total number of employees. This count of employees right now is showing the total number of employees for, but the total number of active employees. Are we together? Sorry, not active now, the entire employees. But I would need to trash this down to show me only active employees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my filters panel. Now, if I'm putting on my filters panel here, or filters pane rather, here you find that there are two categories of filters that we can place. Here, this first filter is filters on this page. The second filter is filters on all pages. Are we together? So this one, whatever filter we apply here, will affect both HR data overview and this new page that we are creating report on, and every other page that we create. So that's filters on all pages. But any filter that we put on filters on this page is going to apply to only this page that we're currently working on. So if I select this visual here right now, you'll notice that a third category of filters appears, which is filters on this visual. Are we together? So now, when a visual is selected, we have filters on this visual, filters on this page, and filters on all pages. Now, if I wanted to work on filters on this visual, let's just put off my notifications. Kindly pardon me. Let me just put off my notification so we don't get distracted. All right, we're back. So if, for instance, let me do something. So we have number of employee here. The next chart we need to have is ratio of performance score. So when we are dealing with ratio of performance score, let's use a donut chart here for this one. So inside our legend, we're going to insert performance score. Yes, performance score. And then under values, we are going to insert count of employee ID. Now this shows us our ratio of performance score, the ratio of people who fully meet our performance or fully exceed performance, or people who need improvement. So this is what we have here. Now we have a visual, a card visual showing us total number of employees, and then we also have a donut chart showing us the ratio of performance score of all the employees. Now let me show you what I was trying to say. Now with this chart being selected, we have three categories of filters: filters on this visual, filters on this page, and filters on all pages. So if the filters I'm applying, I want it to just affect this visual but not everything on the page, I'm going to filter with using filters on this visual. Say, for instance, we only need the ratio of people who need improvement and people who are under PEEP, right? So those are these two categories: needs improvement and PEEP, that are the people that are underperforming. Are we together? So, for instance, I just want to see the ratio of people who needs improvement and PEEP. I don't want to see those people who fully meet and fully exceed. I won't be performing an entire page filter. What I'll be doing is a visual filter. That's a filter on this visual. That means that I can go to this performance score here, and you see the entire performance that we have here: exceed, fully meet, and needs improvement. So if I check on needs improvement and PEEP, it means that the only thing that we have showing here is for people who need is the ratio of people who needs improvement and people who are underperforming entirely. That's what we have here. But this filter right now, you can see that our card visual still remains the same, because any filters that is filters on this visual will not affect the other visuals around the page. Are we together? Are we together so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
you're
Yes,
welcome.
sir.
All right. So now that we have this, that filters on this visual, we know that whatever filter we apply on a visual only applies to that visual, not all the whole visuals. But if I want to create a filter that will affect all the visuals on a page, I'm going to use filters on this page, not filters on this visual when we select a visual. So for me to do that, in the case of these active and inactive employees now, the kind of filters I need to apply is filters on this page, not filters on this visual. Are we together? Because every chart I want to be on this report page now, on this our canvas now, should reflect only active employees, not inactive employees, not voluntarily terminated, not terminated, just active employees. So if I'm creating that kind of filter, I'm just going to pull up my let me pull up this employment status, dragging my employment status from my data pane. I'm going to drop that inside add data fields here under field filters on this page. So once I do that, now I have active and inactive. I can select only active. Now selecting only active, if you notice, there's a change already in the total number of people reflecting on the card. Right now we now have 207 people. Those are 207 active people. Also, if you took note of the statistics here on this donut chart, you would also realize that our statistics here has also changed. Let me activate for everybody. Are you seeing the change? It's a slight change. It's not very massive, but you should be able to see it change every time I apply the filters. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So
Yes, sir.
it means that every time I hit on active, it will change to reflect only for active people. Right now, I don't need to bother about any more filters because I have filters on this page. Any chart that I bring into this place now is automatically going to be giving me analysis for only active people. So now I have a ratio of performance score. What else do I want to have? Numbers of employees by department. So to do numbers of employees by department, let me use a column chart for this. Column chart. Numbers of employees by department. Where's department? X-axis takes department, Y-axis takes count of employee ID. I'm not asking us today because we already have done this from the previous class. That's the reason I'm just walking through it like that. But if I'm too fast for you, you can let me know. Okay, so here we have numbers of employees by department. Now, these numbers of employees by department, we don't even need to bother because this number of employee by department is showing for only active employees. Why? Because we already have filters on this page. So everything on this page automatically filters to active employees. If you want to calculate that manually, we have 126 people. Do we have mathematicians here? 126 people plus 40 people, 166 plus 26 people. How many?
192.
Aha. Plus 7 people
199.
199,
plus another 7 people again.
206.
206.
206.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. Plus 1 person.
207.
207.
Do you now see that the entire amount meets up with exactly what we have here?
Yes.
Now, that shows you that our filter on active employees totally works. In the same way, if we go back to go and calculate people who meet expectations or people who and do that calculation manually again, let's do that. 162 plus 29
191,
plus 8
199.
plus 8.
Is that 8?
Yes, that's 8.
207.
It still means that we are still dealing with the 207 active employees. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so pretty much that's how we apply filters on page. Like I said, if I did this on a visual, it will only be affecting the selected visual, not the entire visual. But if I did this if I did the same filter under filters on this page, it will be affecting all the filters on this page. But if I did it under filters on all pages, it means that even this one here that we've already analyzed from the previous class will also reflect only active employees. So that's report filter, page filter, and chart filter. Those are the 3 types of filters that we have there. Does that make sense? Any question from this? Any question?
Okay.
Can we make progress?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, let's talk about something else today. So look at this. We have this dashboard right now. I know that a lot of times we've been taught that maybe if you just go to view, you can select any theme of your choice, which actually works. You can really find really nice themes. There's the one that is my favorite. Where's that one? I think not something that has to do with color, blah blah blah. Let me go back to this. City Park, accessible tidal, accessible neutral, accessible orchid, innovate solar storm, sunset, temperature, colorblind safe. This is the one I'm looking for. This one is usually like my all-time favorite. Okay, so you can gain really attractive charts using any of these themes, right? But more than just using any of these themes that are here, one of the things that makes you a good data analyst is to be able to channel your charts in such a way that it will meet the brand expectations of that company. Are we together?
Yes.
So that means that if I was creating this chart for, let's say for instance, one company in Nigeria, let's say if I was creating this chart for FCMB, I don't expect to use this color to present a chart to FCMB Bank. Why? Because FCMB Bank does not use this color as their theme at all. It works, they can see the visual, but it's not appealing to their brand. Are we together? So part of the things that is going to make you stand out as a data analyst is for you to pay attention to little details like that. So you don't just pick up any theme like that for any companies. So I'm going to teach you how we can create our own custom theme for any brand that we are working with and then apply it to our visuals. Should we go ahead?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's
Thank
go ahead.
thanks. All right. So let's do this. Mm, let's use that same FCMB that we talked about. So assuming this was for FCMB Bank again, what can we have? Let's have FCMB. Let's just search for them and their brand colors. Image,
Purple
eh, purple and yellow.
and yellow. Yeah.
Okay, so currently we have purple and yellow for FCMB Bank. Let me just download this image. Let's save images. FCMB logo. Nice. All right. So now that I have that their brand image, I can use that as the logo for our visual, of course. But the point that what I want to really do here is to pick up these colors and use it for our major colors on that our visual. Now you can't just see this color. This color looks like purple, but only women would know that the inside purple there are like 1,000 purples. So you can't just conclude that this is just a purple and use any kind of purple. You could, let me even look for purple color safe. Now, do you now see that all of these are still purple, but do you now see that there are different arrays of purple? Aha, for those of us that do, let's do color studies today. There's the color called periwinkle. Pastor Babalola, come and see you. Periwinkle, lavender, lilac, pink, purple.
Very
So do you now see that all of these ones now, which one would you now say is that FCMB purple now? From all of this list that we have here, which one is the FCMB purple?
the
Uh,
second on the second column.
This one?
mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
The
Another vote.
first and the last column.
the
This
first and the last.
this one, raising
Yes.
purple.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Interesting. Who else again? Contrary opinions. Let's go back to that FCMB logo again. And let's go back and compare. You're just going to see that this FCMB logo is none of those purples even. Now see the logo we are talking about here. Let's go back and compare again. Logo is obviously not this one. Neither is it this one. Do you now see what I'm saying? This purple, this shade of purple that you're seeing here, it's not the same with any of these.
It's not there.
It's not there. That simply means that if anybody tries to use any of this purple for you and say they are representatives of FCMB Bank, you can already arrest them and know that they are fake. Because brands stick to color. Do you understand? Like their precise color. They wouldn't just use any kind of purple in the name of purple. Are we together? So how do we get that exact purple now is now the next question. So there's a tool called Color Code Picker. Let me look for that. Color Code Picker. So we have a color code picker here, but let's use this image color picker here, this first one here. Okay, the class is too quiet now.
Hi.
Hello.
Can't we import the color from the logo directly to our Power BI?
So how we can do is to look for the color code of that color. So that's what we're about to do with the color code picker now.
Okay. What I'm saying is that to
No, we
use the
can the image.
Yes, as the background.
It's not just that. Just wait, let me show you what I'm about to show you. Okay,
Okay.
so let's go to use image now. So here we're going to select use image, and the image we are going to use now is that same, where's downloads, FCMB logo. Now, do you now see different arrays of colors that have been picked just from this logo? Which one is this again? So this is the purple that we are looking for. What's going on with this website today? Meanwhile, if you wanted to import that logo into Power BI, maybe to just use your logo, you can use insert, go to insert, and then go to image, right? So inserting image, you can go to the folder where your image is and select the image, and then we can import it into Power BI. Can you see that? So it means we can totally have our logo, just assuming we're working with FCMB. Okay, I think something like this works. All right, so this is our logo now inside our report. Using it as a background, I don't think it will be very attractive. Actually, I prefer when we do less colors than plenty colors everywhere. So I barely use background color. But that's a personal bias, sure. If you think background colors are cool, you can go ahead and use it. But the point is, don't just cloud your interesting. Don't just cloud your visuals with a lot of colors. It wouldn't make sense. This is what happens when you don't patronize people's business. So they just start putting plenty ads inside their website. Hmm. Let's use another color code picker. Okay, so I'm not very familiar with this one. Who can find use image? Okay, really? Okay, there's always a way. There's always a way out. Are you guys still with me?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
with you.
Yeah, let me try and do that same thing. What I'm trying to do with PowerPoint and see if I'll be able to get it. Okay, let's bring in the same image down. All right, so this is the image we are dealing with here. So we have picture formats, something around, definitely not that. Hmm, okay, is that eyedropper now? Okay, okay, so I think we can use this eyedropper to get our image colors. Because this image color now, this color now, there's a particular code combination that makes up this color that if it's not that combination, even if it's off by one, like this, you've already missed the color code and it won't be the same color. So that's what we are trying to get out here. So I'm just going to use improvise and just use PowerPoint to do that. Otherwise, the simple tool to do that with is a web color code picker, but the ones that we have here now, they're just misbehaving with a lot of ads and stuff. Let me see if this is going to behave better now, because this is like the easier one to use, this web platform, but I sincerely don't know what's wrong with them today. Okay, so now that we've selected this purple, are we together? This purple, now you can see the color code of this purple, hashtag 5C247C. Now that's the color code of this purple. Let's copy that and bring that into our Power BI. So in our Power BI, we need to work with a theme. So we'll go to view, right? And then under theme, we'll go to instead of browse for more theme, we'll see customize current theme. Can we see that? Customize current theme. So if I go to customize current theme, you see the theme colors that we are using here. You can see that the first color that is on the theme color is this green here that we have on this chart as color 1. The second color that we have here, if you look at this our donut chart, do you see color 2 here? This second shade of green. Now this major one is first color, this is second one. Now what this basically tells us is that by default, when we're using this theme, every time that we put up any visual, by default, if the first color that will come up for that visual is going to be this green color, if the chart that we're using now eventually has 2 or more colors, the second color that will come up will be this green color. The third color that will come up will be this pink. So if, for instance, now this our pie chart now has like 3 categories, the third category will be on this color 3. If we go to page 1, let's go back a bit. Go to page 1 here. Do you see that same color that we're saying? See color 1, the dark green. Color 2, the lighter green. What's color 3? Pink. Color 4, baby pink.
Mm.
You guys need to be putting hands together for me. See that I'm calling colors. I don't even know if I'm calling it. So you now see that that's the way our colored 1, color 2, color 3, color 4, that's how it's been arranged. So if this chart had like the 5th category now, it will now go to this thicker color pink, purple, and then the lighter color purple, then go to blue and blue. So what I'm going to do is, since I've already copied the color code for our purple from this our image picker, let's close that. So since I already have copied that, I'm just going to go to color 1, and then this hex code here that we're seeing here, I'll just delete this one here and paste the one that I just got. Do you see that it picked the exact spot for the purple? Now, this is not something that you can manually do by hand, maybe except if you are really, really good, like you can just be able to just pick the color shade, like the exact color shade. But within this place are different combinations of color. Any small movement from this place to another side, you will not even know that the color has changed, but you see that the code has changed. Now it's not the same color anymore. So I'm just going to go back there again and paste that. I think I've already digressed from our color. Paste that. So if I do that, our color 1 has already been fixed to this color. Let's make color 2, that's yellow color on the logo. So color 2 is going to be this yellow, and then let's copy that yellow color and then bring it down to color 2. Paste that. That's the yellow color, and then let's see if we can get a third color from this again. Color 3. Let's pick up this color. I think I like it. I think that's a lighter shade of purple. Now, do you understand what I'm doing so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay, so let's pick up this other shade of yellow and use that as color 4. Go back to Power BI again and paste that into color 4. All right, let's pick one more and then let's just leave it for now. One more for color 5. Maybe this purple. Change now, bro. Okay, so this is beginning to take its time to process. But if you get the concept, this is exactly how you get to choose the color for your team. Now, if you apply this color now, let's see what happens by default. Do you now see that? Let's go back to our visual. Now, does this look more like something that you're doing for FCMB or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
You now see that our chart automatically adjusts itself to now show up, to now give us the colors that represent that brand. if you are submitting this report now for anybody in FCMB now, they will already appreciate it because obviously you speak their brand and you're speaking their color. Are we together? So not just the colors. Let's go back to customize theme again. There are other things that we can customize. Put that further, we have sentiment colors. Sentiment colors are supposed to show us negative change or positive change. Are we together? Like for instance, if it's negative change, it's supposed to show red color, right? If it's positive change, it's supposed to show green, and then if it's a neutral change, it's supposed to just give us yellow color for neutral change. So if, for instance, I don't want to do red and green because red and green are like the popular ways that we show positive and negative changes. True or false? Very true. So if I don't want to do that, for instance, maybe I just want to show negative color as maybe gray, and then I want to show positive colors as maybe the purple, or positive changes rather. So I'm going to put this purple, excuse me, on positive change, and then for our neutral change, let's leave neutral change at yellow since we have that. So here, anytime we have negative change, we're going to see this. Anytime we have positive change, we're going to see this color. I can also manipulate that from here. Next off, we have what is called divergent colors. Now let me show you how divergence works in Power BI. Divergence. Okay, bring this down here to this chart. Now I'm going to go to the format options of this chart. So by how I'm going to do that is I'm going to select this, right? And then I'm going to go to more options, and then format is going to show by this right hand side. So can we see the format pane? Can we all see the format pane?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so in this format pane now, let's just scroll down to bars because all we want to do has to do with the bars. So now automatically the colors of the bars are purple. That's why we see purple here. So if we wanted to change the colors of the bar, we can use any of these colors. Can select any color that we want to use to put on the color of the bars. But I'm just going to change my color and use the conditional formatting. So I'm using this FX button now for conditional formatting. If I go to conditional formatting, I can say something like if the value and the value that we have here is, let me just change that to gradient, right? So what we're going to do is instead of count of department, what we are going to have is count of employee ID. So let's use the column here, employee ID. I know that I'm not chilling to explain this to us very well, but I just need you to see something with gradient so that we can get back to themes. So here, the minimum value for the employee ID, let's make it yellow, and then let the highest value of employee ID have purple, right? So it means that for low values, for instance, if we go back to this bar chart here, where we have executive office, it has a very low value, true or false. Then when we have production, it has a high value. That's why the bar is long. So for that low value, we don't just want the bar to be short, we want it to also show to become yellow color. And when it's on high value, I want it to be show the actual purple color. Now if I click on OK for this, now let's see what happens to our chart. Can you see what happens to our chart? Do you see the change of color to emphasize that this one has the highest value, and then the ones that have yellow have low value? Do you understand? So what we call this is divergent colors. We call them divergent colors. It means that um they're supposed to show how numbers moves from low to high value. Are we together? From the minimum number to like the maximum number. Are we together?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So if you understand what I just said so far, if I go back to this place again, let's go back to customize theme. You realize that divergent colors that we change from yellow to purple, it was from green to red. Sorry, from red to green. Minimum value had red, maximum value had green. Why was that? It was because from the theme, the by default divergent value is supposed to blend from minimum value of red to maximum value of yellow. So it means that did you notice that I manually changed those colors by myself? Let's go back and do that again. try that on this other bar chart here. We'll go to bars again, like we want to change the color for each bars. Okay, this is a column chart. So we'll go to columns and then we'll go to this FX button here. Now let me show you what I'm saying. Change these rules to gradient. Do you now see that maximum value has green, minimum value has red? Can we see this? Now, if we add a middle color is going to come with yellow. These are the same colors that we have in our theme. It means that if I go back to my theme and customize that divergent color, I won't be having red and green anymore. Let's go back to customize our current theme. So under divergent color, maximum value, let's put maximum value at our purple. All right, and then let's put minimum value at, maybe give it a gray color. All right, so it means maximum value is purple, minimum value is gray. Let's just apply this. Now, if we apply this now and go back to our, where's divergent again? For colors, under columns here, if we go back to that place, you now see that, change it to gradient, you would notice that it has changed now from minimum value. Now, minimum value is now gray instead of red, and then maximum value is now purple. So it means that I can manipulate these colors from setting my theme from the beginning of my report. Do you get? Before I even start pulling off any chart, I can already set the default colors that I want to use for everything, and before I start, so that when I start, I don't have to start thinking of changing colors and everything. Do we understand that so far? Somebody's about to say, today's own is deep. Oh."
Yes.
How did you get to this place?
Is that a question?
I don't know.
If you go to
Jesus.
view under Power BI, if you go to view, see your themes here. So
Okay.
you can click on this small arrow here for the drop down, this arrow by the side for the drop down, and
I
then you can
know.
scroll down and go to customize theme. So it will bring you here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sentiment color. If I click on sentiment colors, nothing's coming up.
Sentiment colors. You don't have to click on sentiment colors now. You just have to click on the colors under sentiment colors. Then you can change the colors there. Okay. Does anyone have any other question?
It's like mine is different.
Yes, you're going to see different
Okay.
set of colors.
It's saying your current theme does not support X formatting. Update theme. Then maybe I should update it.
Okay, now you are taking our class out of scope entirely. What is guys, permit me to do this. Can you share, are you using your system for this class?
No, I'm using my phone. We're working on my system.
Oh, so I can't even ask you to share screen. Oh yeah, you are fine. All right. Hello, let me see. Who are those in class again? Because this
No,
silence is
yeah.
just this silence is
Hi.
just too much
Hi.
this evening.
Hi.
Okay, is there a question? I think all of us are having a stressful Sunday. Just chill, go back to the video, you understand it, because I'm very sure it was. I'm very sure
Uh-huh.
we took our time to
I think
explain it.
it's
Me, I
better.
I've
think.
We'll
gotten
go
it
back.
now.
I celebrate.
After updating,
I celebrate you.
after updating it,
Okay.
I got it now. Sentiment colors, there are colors under. Yes, we're on the same page now.
Oh, I didn't even know that we're following side by side. All right.
It's okay.
Okay, so
Thank
let's.
you.
So pretty much what we've just discussed is how you can customize your theme, and before even you start your report, all of these are report prep processes. So much that you can just prep your report. The moment you get into visualization, you're not wasting time there with changing colors, trying to activate things. If you go back to that same theme, you see more options of things that you can customize. Let's go to customize current theme. Do you not see that under this is under names and colors, right? If you go back to this, you see text. It means that you can customize for your general text, for your titles, for your card, for your headers. You can customize the font type that you want to use, the font size, even before you start, so that you are not there trying to manipulate things for each visual. Are we together?
Mm.
Even for your visuals,
Yeah,
you can go and even customize background color. Currently, the background color for all our visuals is what? For all
it's
our charts
white.
is white. If I wanted another background color, let me see, maybe paste that purple there. I'm not sure I'm going to use purple on this. Maybe let's just put it somewhere around gray. If I change that to a gray color, yeah, make it dark a bit. All right. So if I change this to a gray color now and I apply this to my chart now, you notice that let's make transparency 0. Notice that all my charts automatically changes background color. Why is this one doing like? What's wrong with this one? This particular chart. All right. But do you see what I'm saying? Automatically. So it means that I
Yes.
don't, if I wanted to manipulate background color for my chart, I don't need to start working from each chart one after the other to get that done. I just need to go to the theme and then manipulate it from the root source. Once I do that from the root source, I'm fine. Back to visuals. You can see that colors, we still have this. So let's just push it back to white and transparency on 50. If you go to border, if I wanted to even use border, I can even put on the border lines from here. So all the charts will automatically have borders. Border line are the lines that run across the chart from or at the edges of the chart. Are we together? So you can see that I can just totally do that. If I wanted to even change my header color, like the text, all of these text that we have above here, they are called headers. If I wanted to change my header color, I could do that automatically. Like see background color for the header, border color for header, transparency color like icon title color rather for my headers. So all of these things are manipulatable from the theme. Even my tooltip. Remember, we said tooltip is the pop-up that you have every time you hover your mouse across the chart. I can currently we have like black and white for our tooltip. So if I hover across this chart, what am I going to see? Do you see that all our texts are in black? Meanwhile, the background of this pop-up is in white. That's my tooltip, showing us information about everything we hover across. So in the same way, if I wanted to change how this my tooltip looks, I can totally manipulate it from the source using my theme. So here's that. Also for page, if I wanted to insert wallpaper, I can work on it from here. Page background, wallpaper, I can just do it from here and not even have anything to bother. Even this my filter pane here that is here that you're seeing here, I can even work on the colors on the filter pane and customize and code everything to my taste before and then apply. So much that I'm not even concerned about anything again when I start working on my visuals. I'm not concerned about changing the color of anything because I've already pre-programmed how everything should appear by default. So pretty much this is how we get to work around themes in Power BI. Does this make sense? Because I hope that I'm able to teach us one more thing before
Yeah,
we go for tonight.
It makes sense, but
Yes,
it
yes.
really makes sense.
I want to
It makes sense.
apply it on my own, but it's not changing.
Okay, so this your challenge that you're having here, right? I'm not very certain that this challenge that you're having is a general challenge. I don't know what you're doing wrong, and you can't share your screen with me. If you can log out and log in with your system so you can share your screen, let's see what's going on. Then we'll be able to help you.
Okay, I
Yeah,
will
so
do
you
that.
can just try and log in from your system so that we can see what you're saying. All right, but all things being equal, if you follow the instructions and the pattern that I followed from using the video, like watching the video and trying to follow alongside, I believe that you should be getting the same results from the beginning of the class. You should get the same result as I am getting. If you don't, hit me up. All right, let's take it up
Okay,
from
let's go
there.
on. Thank you.
And you can log in from your system so you share your screen with us. You can still go ahead and log in. Once you do that, we we can take your question and also see what you are saying.
I'm trying to wonder if it's Mr. Honor that wrote Power BI.
Ah, it's not me that wrote Power BI. I wish I was the one that wrote Power BI. Okay, so I think this is another interesting a very interesting part of the report that a lot of people most likely don't know or don't even pay attention to, that short changes them from being professionals to just being amateur. Like, it doesn't matter how simple your results your report is, like your report can just, this is your whole report. Like, somebody can pay you a lot of money to pull off something like this for them, but the way you pay attention to little details and all of that is going to tell and distinguish your works from other people. Little details like brand. Are we together? Because a lot of times you may be thinking everything is just the inside, everything is just the inside. The inside is a major, the inside is a major factor, right? But more than just the inside, you need to pay attention to everything that you're also doing. Back to your
We have
colors
a
and
minute
everything.
left. We
Okay,
have a
so I'm
minute left.
oh yeah, now let's be sending another link to the group ASAP. Class monitor. I'll be sharing another link immediately.
Class captain, do something. Yes, sir.
Welcome back, guys.
Thank you.
Yep, welcome. Okay, we're still good. All right. Do we have questions from what we said so far? Or we can fire on. Let me show us one more thing before we close for tonight. Hello.
Hello, we're here.
Okay. Do no questions. Should I go ahead and show us what I need to show us for tonight?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Let me create a new chart. So let's assume that we need to create a chart of employees by salary. So let's go back and okay, um, chart. Let's use a bar chart. Let me do this. Okay, so in this bar chart, we need to work with employees by salary. So under this, we're going to have under our y-axis, let's have count of employee ID. Sorry, let me admit people. Okay, back here. So we're about to create a chart for employees by salary. Under our y-axis, we have employee ID. Under our x-axis, let's have salary. All right, salary is here. That's a lot of category. Very massive category. I think in between this, we are going to have like 311 bars. That's a lot of categories. Okay, so this is sum of salary by employee ID. It's not looking very interesting right now because we have too many categories. So, for instance, you're being asked, who are the top five salary earners in this company? Instead of to be using this one, I think I should just, instead of employee ID, let me just use employee name. Let's get back. Let's modify that to employee name instead of ID. Awesome. Now this makes more sense. Admit Rachel. Welcome. All right. Can we see this? So we've been giving all of the
Sorry, what's the
employees.
difference between the two?
Which one? The other one I did is that
The
I'm using numbers
employee
versus
name and
numbers
count of
instead of.
employee.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that one was that I was using numbers versus numbers instead of category versus numbers. Do you understand?
Okay, okay,
It
okay.
was numbers versus
Yes.
numbers, not category versus numbers. So here I'm doing category, using employee name as the category now versus number. That's the reason why this is showing up much better. All right. So this is Lawal. Okay, so here we have all the employees and the salary earners. Sorry, and their salary alongside. For us to see the salaries, maybe we should just activate, go back. Let's activate data label. So here, under this other smaller icon here, we'll just activate data labels here. So if I put on data label, you're going to see their salaries by the side. So here you can see that we have somebody earning 250K, somebody else earning 220K, somebody else earning 180K, 178K, 171K, down to the least earner in the company. And the least earner in the company is earning 45K minimum wage. Right, so let's bring it back. So now we have about 311 people's earning. But what we are interested in this chart is to just give us only the top 5 earners in the company. Are we together? So that's to say, how do I filter this chart to get the top 5 by salary, or to get the bottom 5 by salary? Do you get like the top highest earner or the least or the lowest earners in the company? So how we get to do that kind of filtering is by you going back to our filter panel again, or our filters pane. So the filter that we'll be applying here would not be filters on this page, but what we'll be applying is filters on this visual. Are we together? So with these filters on this visual, we just want to bring out only the top 5 salary earners, not all the salary earners. So what we are going to do is, since we are already using 2 columns on this chart called employee name and sum of salary, if you go to filters on these visuals, you already realize that we have 2 columns under filters on this visual: employee name and salary. In other words, I can filter using employee name and select the employees whose salary I want to see, maybe something like this. Of course, this is not going to help us get like the top 5 earners, obviously, because how would you know which one is the one earning higher to highlight their name? So this is not a very optimized way to do that kind of thing. On the other hand, I could go down to filter by sum of salary. If I go down to filter by sum of salary, you'll see that the filter that I have here is, first off, I have is less than. So I can put up everybody whose salary is less than 100K. Right? Let me put 100, 1, 2, 3. If I apply this filter, you realize that the highest earner here is 99K. Can you see that? It means that everybody that is earning above 100K has been removed from this chart. On the other hand, I could change it to, instead of is less than, I could change it to is greater than. Right? So these are different ways that I can filter using these are different ways that I can filter using numbers. I could do is less than, is greater than, is equal to, and all of those. So let's just cancel out this filter because that's not what we want to do. In this case, when we use filters like this, we most likely are saying we're looking for employees whose salaries are less than or salaries are greater than so amount. But that's not what we are about to achieve here. Here, what we are looking for is the top 5 salary earners. So we're going to go back and filter by employee's name or employee name. So under employee name, you see something here that is called filter type. Under filter type, we have basic filtering. Now, what we are saying is basic filtering, where you can manually check on the values that you are interested in. It's called basic filtering. On the other hand, what we want to do is to do a calculation for all of these people to see who is earning more. So we are going to change our filter type. Instead of basic filtering now, I'm going to change my filter type to top N, which means top number. Once I change my filter type to top numbers, it simply means that I'm looking for the employee name, right? I'm looking for the top, maybe let me put 5 here. I'm looking for the top 5 employee name that has the highest salary. Now, how do I get to insert salary into this? We have something here that is called by value. So I could go to data, where's my data pane, go to view, and then activate data. Okay, so my data pane is here. So I could go to my data pane and drag salary here and drop it inside this by value. So once I drop it inside by value, I can now apply the filter. So pretty much what I've done is I've said, give me the top 5 employee name that has the highest salary. Top 5 employee that has the highest sum of salary. Because I'm using top here, so it's going to give me the highest sum of salary. If I apply this filter to this chart now, you're going to see that the total numbers have been reduced to only 5. Now, this is the guy earning 250k as number one. This is the one earning 220k as number two. And then the fifth highest earner in the company is earning over $170,000. What if I'm interested in the bottom 5, like the least 5 salary earners in the companies? You can, of course, you can see that their names are all attached here too. If I'm interested in the least 5, I just need to change this my top to bottom. So it's going to change to bottom 5 by sum of salary. So if I apply this bottom 5 by sum of salary, you can see that these are the last 5 people that earn the least in the company. They are all earning 45k. This one is earning 45,046, 45,069, 45,115, 45,395, 45,433. So these are the least 5 earners in the company. Do you understand this process?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. One more response other than Mrs. Bukola. Ms. Bukola, is it your voice I just heard? I think
Yes,
it's your voice I
sir.
heard. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Great. So that's how we use our top number of filtering to look for things like top, maybe maybe a company gives you their data and you're supposed to analyze to get maybe like the top 10 loyal clients at the end of the year. They want to reward those loyal clients based on how much they spent buying or spent patronizing the company's service or buying the company's products. If you're the one running a company like Jumia, it will be a good thing to do that at the end of every year. You are looking for your top 5 most loyal customers, people who spent more. Maybe you're looking for them based on how much they spent on your website or how many things they bought. So you're looking for the person that bought the highest amount of things in a year. The only way you can get that kind of data, or maybe that kind of solutions from your data, is to use your top N to filter. You can look for the top 5 locations that purchase things the most. You can look for the top 5, top this, top that, and all of that. All of those kind of top or bottom 5 and stuff. How you get to do that, visualize that, is to go to your filters panel on your filters on this visual, then change your filter type from basic filtering to top N, and then you can now do top 5 or bottom 5, and then by whatever value you want to calculate that by. So we're going to just have this there as what's that again? As basic filter type. Sorry, top end filter. Now, other than top end filter, we have another kind of filter again that's called advanced filtering. So if I apply advanced filtering here, see how advanced filtering works. Under advanced filtering, we have things like we are looking for names that contain, because here we are, all these filters we are doing now, we are performing these filters on employee name as a column. So under advanced filtering, we are looking for, you can say, oh, you're looking for names that contain something, you're looking for name that does not contain or starts with. Let's say for instance, we are looking for all the names that start with maybe MA. For instance, say we are looking for Mr. Matthew now by the grace of God. So we are looking for all names that start with MA. So you can see that we have changed it to advanced filtering, looking for all employee name that starts with MA. So if I apply this kind of filter, you can see that here we have Martin Sandra, we have Mankuso. There's no Martin in this thing, no, it's not fair. And then we have Manhani. All right. So all of these are people that start with NA. What about people that end with something? Think maybe names that does not start with MA. If we try to look for names that does not start with MA, if we apply that, these are a lot of there are a lot of names that obviously don't start with MA. So basically, that's how advanced filtering works. It allows you to work with logical functions like contains, does not contain, names that start with, name that does not start with, name that is not, or names that are blank, or names that are not blank, or names that are empty or not empty. So basically, you find those kind of filtering under advanced filtering. So I'm just going to clear all the filters on this chart and put it back to top N. Top N, so we're looking for top 5 employees, employee name by sum of salary, and then let's just apply that. Ask me questions if you have. Hello?
Hi.
Any question?
No, we are good.
Okay.
We are with you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The more I keep talking, the more there are so many things I want to show us. But if we don't restrict ourselves in this moment, we'll be holding this class for the next who knows, maybe like in 2 months time we are still dealing with Power BI.
Please show us everything.
Please
Well
continue.
done, well done.
Yes, sir. Show us everything, sir. We
Well
love that.
done. Well done. I hear you. Okay, but we are going to be around here, except if anybody has a question, you can ask any question generally, career question, you can ask about the industry, you can ask technical questions as it has to do with Power BI or data analysis. You can ask any questions right now. So I'm open to answering your questions so that we can just it's already 10:30.
Please, sir, what percentage of Power BI have we been taught now?
What
You
percentage
want
of
to
Power BI have
summarize?
I?
Have we been taught?
So far so good.
Yes.
You want me to grade your skill? So I'm going.
Yes.
Yeah, Damilare, I see you. I'm coming with you. So sincerely speaking, with everything that we've done so far, um, what we've been able to do is to walk through reports, like just give us an idea of what the tool is. It's not like we dealt with every nitty gritty of the listing. So if, for instance, somebody says to you right now, do you know what Power BI does? I'm very sure you're going to have a very good and grounded idea of what Power BI does. Perhaps if you are working in a company or even in a church or in an organization and you have data, you can perform some basic analysis with those. But sincerely speaking, in the context of Power BI, I think we may have done maybe somewhere less than 30%, honestly.
God of Jesus.
There's still a lot. There's
Just
still a lot.
30%.
You said?
Wow.
Yes,
I
there's
said
still
just
a lot.
30%.
Sincerely, there's still a lot that you guys need to know. But the good thing right here is that you guys already have a pattern for learning. It means that if there's anything you want to do, if you don't know how to do it, you most likely will know, you know what to do per situation. That's what I'm trying to say. But you may not know how to do it. So you can always search and say, oh, how do I do top 5 days? How do I do this? How do I do that on Power BI? So it's just a basic overview that we've gotten. But this overview can pass you to say, oh, I understand Power BI, and can pass you in an interview that has to do with maybe a technical interview for Power BI. If they don't ask you, that's of course. So most likely you can talk about Power BI comfortably and pull off some basic things. But if you want to, for instance, if you are like me and you want to establish a career in Power BI, because there's a career that's on Power BI, it's called Power BI developer. Power BI developer is a career on its own. little Excel,
Sorry, please come again.
majority. Yes, I said there's a career field called Power BI developer.
Okay,
Yes,
developer.
so that's one field I'm very interested in. So that field just has to do with developing active reports with Power BI. There are a lot of things that we didn't talk about. For instance, establishing, creating live reports. Have you seen things like trading? All of those stock charts that as the data is changing per time, it's reflecting every change. Do we see that? Stock, weather. Have you seen all of those applications that you use on your phone that have to do with dashboard?
Yes.
That as
Okay.
any changes is happening in the weather, is also reflecting on your own end here, live on point like that. Because Power BI is supposed to be a tool that you can use in your organization to oversee everything that is happening. So, say for instance, you have a business in Lagos and you are in, for instance, about Pastor Babalola, and you are in Benin. You need to know what is exactly is happening in your business. You can create a
Yes.
live dashboard from your own end that is taking data directly from the business so that every sales that they are making from that end is reflecting on your end here. Do you understand? So you are seeing everything that is happening real time. Power BI empowers us to do
Wow.
crazy things like that. It's a very, very powerful tool. But you see that we didn't even get to talk about all of those, establishing all of those things because they are actually Power BI developer. But for a data analyst, I think if I want to rate you as a data analyst, somewhere I may rate you above 30. But if I want to rate you as somebody who really understands Power BI as a Power BI developer, I'm going to rate you way below 30 because there's still a lot of technical things we need to know. Yep. So thank you. Dami Larry, question.
I was yes, I was using Tableau. I was using it to do the data that you gave us.
Okay.
After doing the assignment, I
Okay.
was using Tableau to see if I can get the same thing. So I was not getting the filter. I was not getting the slicer like that cat. So I'm now
Okay.
asking like I got it eventually, but it's not like Power BI. And so I'm now asking, is does Tableau also have all those slicer, filters, cat? Does it have?
Okay. So I'm going to ask you to go and explore Tableau now because now you are beginning to take me to another tool that is outside of this scope of our classes. Save
Yes,
journey. Save journey. Enter boats.
I've explored it, but I didn't get it. That's what I'm asking.
Search Google, search again. Tableau and Power BI, they do similar things. So I'm very sure, even if you don't find the exact visual called card, let me show you guys something. Even if you don't find the exact card visual on Tableau, are you with me? You most likely
Yes,
are
sir.
going to also, you're going to find a way to communicate the same thing. But I'm very sure there should be card visual. Maybe it won't be called card because Tableau is not within my scope of expertise. Maybe it won't be called CAD, but I'm very sure that there's a way that you can achieve that with tablet.
Okay, sir.
So I wanted us to see this briefly. So a lot of times you see that we already have charts here and stuff. There are a lot of charts that we didn't talk about here, but let's see something. When you don't find the chart that you need within these charts that I mentioned here, there's something here that we have here saying get more visuals. Can we see this? So we can go to get more visuals, and I'm very certain you need a Power BI account to be able to do this. I promised us that I was going to help us teach us how to create our own organizational accounts that we can access Power BI with. I've not done that, so I'm going to put out the content on that within the week. Class rep, class rep, oh.
Madam Adebukola answer now.
Well,
Class rep, please remind me.
it is well with my okay, sir.
Okay, just trying to remind me about opening up an account with opening an account with Power BI, right? Like a Power BI account, an account you can use with Power BI to access the service. I'll do a video on that and then post it on
Okay, sir.
the channel so that every one of us can get an account. But once you are logged into your account, you can access more visuals than you even have here in this your visuals under get more visual. This is still loading. While this is loading, Lawal, Mrs. Lawal, can you ask your question, please?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything. Yeah,
You're welcome.
when I was trying to practice what you taught us yesterday, so I
Mhm.
just noticed that my own my maybe my the version I'm using on my laptop, like when you were trying to tell us on how to add the header column, immediately you imported the data. When you transform the data, it
Mhm.
was showing column one, column two, column three. But on my own laptop, the header information, I mean the contents, the header the contents in the column, everything just went to the header itself. Then I also noticed that when we were trying to do under add column yesterday, conditional
Yes,
column,
please. Yes,
yes.
please.
Okay, under conditional column yesterday. So on my own data, on my own data set, I just noticed that instead of
That
instead of employment status, I was already seeing a column by the side that shows the EMP status. So
okay. So were you in class?
it's already
Were,
segregated into active, inactive. Though I later practiced the one you taught us yesterday in case. So I
okay.
just put it
Were
side
you
by
with us
side.
from the
That's what
beginning
I
of the
noticed
class?
yesterday.
You came to class late.
Yes, yes,
Exactly.
I was able
Because
to join yesterday.
yes, no,
So that's
but
what
you
I
came to
noticed
class
in my
late.
own data. Eh, I was
You
on
came
the
to class
bike.
late.
I was on my way home. Yes, I
Okay.
came to class late
So
this evening. I was on the bike going home then.
no, not this evening. I'm talking about yesterday's class because what you are saying now, we treated
No,
it from the beginning of yesterday's class.
no. I was
I'll send you the link. I'll
I was
send the
in class.
link of
So
yesterday's class. I'll send the link of
no,
yesterday's class.
I've seen it. No. I've seen
Okay.
it on this thing, on the
Uh-huh.
WhatsApp group.
So try
I
to
was only
just read
trying to
maybe like the first
tell you
30
what I
minutes.
noticed.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes.
I understand because that thing that you noticed, I undid it on my own. All of those columns, I opened the Excel, I deleted that EMP status column, I deleted it from my Excel so that we can start on a
Okay.
fresh page. I was not even explaining
Uh,
to us yesterday that I had already used that data set to teach somebody in Excel how to create the same chart
uh,
in Excel. So I had already done some
uh,
manipulation and formulas there. So I had to delete everything I did to get it back to the row. So I now mentioned that um, if you want to also do the same thing, also clean up your data from your end too, so that you'll be able to practice alongside. I mentioned it in the
okay.
video. Exactly.
I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
I was
You're
able to
welcome.
try the one you taught us yesterday too. So it
Awesome.
was so helpful. Thank you very
Awesome.
much.
Awesome. Awesome. You're welcome. All right. So can we all see this chart that we're seeing?
Yes.
Yes. So this,
Yes.
if you don't find the chart that you need, sometimes you go online, you see a lot of charts that you don't even understand. Like you're wondering, where is this chart coming from? Where did they get this chart? Most of those charts are from this place in Power BI. So how you get to access this is through your Microsoft account. Having created your Microsoft account, like I said, I'm going to show us how we can individually get ours. You cannot use your personal email. But once you log in, if you log in, you can see that I have my name here, Honor Matthew. So once you are logged in, you can go to get more visuals, and then under this get more visuals, you'll be able to access so many visuals that we don't even have. So if you don't access that, it means that you're not even enjoying Power BI yet. You're still, you've not started yet. I'm just kidding. So yeah, that's how you can access more chat. Does anyone else have any question? Hello.
Yeah, we're here.
All right.